Quit texting me. I'm doing important stuff. 300 pages. 300 pages in the past 25-ish days. It is July 19th, 2026. And since June 26th, 2026, I've been writing this book and I'm on page 300 and I'm absolutely ecstatic. All right. And you might be thinking 300 pages, that's not even that many. Carnation was longer. Why are you so ecstatic about 300 pages? It's been 10 months and this is all you have to show for. You don't understand the size of it, all right? First of all, 300 pages in what did I say? 25 days? Did I even count that? Like that's pretty good. All right, that's pretty good for for someone who has got like 1,000 things going on in their life all the time. That's pretty decent. All right, and now about the other books that like I've been talking about, like promising and stuff. That's not happening. But it's all right. We work with it. Okay. Like Still We Fall. All right. Everyone wants to see Still We Fall. There's just like millions of people, and you're just like, Logan, please finish Still We Fall. I'm like, come on, guys, just chill out with it. Like I was rereading it, and I was like, man, this is pretty good. Like actually, like I was kind of doing pretty good. Then I got to like chapter 4, and I was just like, what are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing? Like, I lost the plot, bro. I started like replaying Uncharted, and you could just see like leak through. It was pretty bad, but it started off strong. I just don't know if I have the gall to finish it anytime soon. Maybe one day. Just probably circle back around to like 65, but yeah, not for now. For right now, I've been working on this book that I started since I was I conceptualized it when I was 7, but saying that is kind of a lie because I did think of it when I was 7. It was just it was the idea of a 7-year-old. So you can imagine. You can imagine. It originally I wanted it to be like R.L. Stein's Goosebumps. It's like new monster every episode, new characters, anthology, I suppose, whatever it's called. And I tried to have that shine through just a little bit in here. I have a little monster of the week thing going on. But I was writing this because I thought of it a long, long time ago, and I've just been working on it in my brain, just like thinking about it all this time. It's been a decade of just thinking about this and fine tuning it. Right, and I'm writing it, and I'm just thinking this whole time like, did Stranger Things like get into one of my old notebooks from when I was a little kid and just like write all that down? Because I'm gonna tell you what this book is about right now, and you're gonna be like, "That's just Stranger Things," and I'm gonna be like, "Don't know what to tell you." All right, they took it out of my mind. All right, but okay, surface level, surface level. Couple of kids uncover this giant conspiracy that involves a like big massive facility with portals that they're testing on and another world on the other side of the portals and monsters come out of the portals. So yeah, no, I was not really happy in the old 2016 when the most unfortunate thing hit my screen. I was especially not happy whenever people started bringing it up to me, like the people I told this book about. They're like, I'm striking a few parallels right there, and I was just like, I don't want to hear about it. All right. However, I was kind of delighted when the fifth and final season of Stranger Things came out because, as we can all recall, it did not end well. All right, they butchered that ending right there, and most people were disappointed. I was not disappointed at all. I saw this as an opportunity. Okay, I'm gonna do what Stranger Things could not. All right, they want to steal my plot, but the thing is, I didn't have it finished yet, so that's why they couldn't make it perfect. That's why they couldn't finish it themselves because I didn't have it finished yet. But I'm in here now. I'm in here and I'm on page 300. So we're gonna we're gonna get in there. We're gonna make it better. All right. Now listen. If we go a little bit deeper than the surface level synopsis or whatever, then yeah, it's not really like Stranger Things. I mean, there's parallels to be drawn. I will admit there's some similarities in there that you can kind of I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, yeah, I can see some parallels. But I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. All right, I don't. I mean, maybe I could go look for one of my old notebooks and we can see me drawing the characters or something from like 2014 when I was like 5 or 2014, 7. I don't know. I was 7 when I thought of it. That's all that matters. Okay, I was 7 years old. I remember it because I was thinking about an intro for the show because obviously there's gonna be a show about this, and I was just like, it's core memory. It's core memory. I've been talking about nothing for 6 minutes, man. What am I doing? Let me grab something real quick. And I'll show y'all the meat of the. I don't know. Ooh, actually, let me grab this. Do a little double decker. Why not? Before we get into the meat of this, which okay, when I say the meat of this, I mean the meat of the book that I've been talking about. It's just mentioned in this. First, though, look at my shirt. Appreciate it. And now we're gonna look at this. The Storm Inside by high school students. This is literature right here. Mm. Mm. This table of contents. It's got some pretty interesting information. We got something on page 48. We got something on page 48. Well, I'm I'll bite. I'll bite. What's on page 48? Ooh. Now what's that I spy with my little eye? If not a dividing one. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, everything about it is just, it's fantastic, honestly. It's just 4 pages of perfection, in my humble opinion. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, you have to pick this up. All right, you have to pick this book up for those 4 pages right now. Hop on Amazon and look up The Storm Inside. You will not be let down because there's not just my little story that I wrote in 30 minutes. No, there are a bunch of stories in here, and a couple of them were actually written by my friends. I wonder if I should highlight their names or if that feels a little creepy, doesn't it? That does feel a little bit creepy. I know their names. I don't need to highlight them. How many are in here? One, two. All right, there's 2 other people in here. So that's pretty cool. But there's also a bunch of other talented people in this that wrote amazing stories, poems, all that jazz. And I read through this, and it is really beautiful. It's about, um, bad weather and poverty, and living in the southeast Texas area. You're definitely gonna face that. And yeah, this is just a very, very nice book. It's got a lot of young voices just wanting to be heard, and I think that is beautiful. It's like a mosaic of this area. But now let's talk about what this video is actually supposed to be about, which y'all all waited 10 months for, because I know there's people just checking my page every day, just waiting and hoping and praying that I'll have uploaded something. But today's the day. Today is the day. Tonight's the night. So, there's something about my books that I feel I should mention. I always have this little section at the beginning other books by Logan Erdman, or other stories by Logan Erdman, I say. I always have the same few at the top with a little asterisk by them that says has not come out by this date, and then it's whatever the date is. And it stays pretty much unchanged, and it's the stories that I've always had in mind since the get go. Then there's some stories I've already like published. Why did I not put the title of this book and why did I not mention it? It's in all the other ones, I'm pretty sure. Now I'm doubting myself. Maybe I'm crazy. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I'm just. Why did I exclude only that one? Did I know that it was gonna come back to haunt me? I can't even fit this back in here. I'm knocking everything over. I don't care anymore. Okay, let's see. Is it in this one? Yes. Yes, it is in the Monkey Man. Man, this is an old copy. Yeah, this is from December 2023. It's an old copy. What do you notice except for this scratched out name? This one appears in all of them, but that's not the one we're talking about. This one appears in most of them. That's not the one we're talking about. This one, yikes, that one's not coming out. Yikes, that one's not coming out. This came out. What is this one? It's Not Fair at the Halloween Fair. I can already tell just by the title that I gave up after the first page on that one. But we're talking about this one. Scare Scrape. See, it just has a ring to it, man. Scare Scrape. Thought of that when I was but a wee lad. Yep, I don't know what that name means. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I found a meaning in the book. Okay, like I gave it a meaning. But when I was, however old I was, 7, I didn't really know what that meant. It sounded cool. It's got a purpose now. It's got a whole shindig to it, and I am 300 pages into this book. And since it's something I've been working on since I was 7, this is definitely not going to be the final version. I'm going to be honest. When I wrote Carnacial, I was not trying to do a first draft type thing. Heck, nah, dude. Like, I finished it and I was just like, all right, good enough for me. Let's get that uploaded. And I put the cover together and I threw it out there and I was just like, there we go. That's that done. I haven't published a book in a hot minute, dude. I haven't been writing a lot. I've been busy with other stuff, plenty of other stuff. I got like a jillion billion things going on. I mean, I'm a senior in high school. Come on, I've got to have like an agenda or something. I've got work, college, uh, relationships. My girlfriend, my friends, my family, just 1,000 things all the time. I picked up the guitar last year for the first time and kind of fell in love with that. Who would have known a writer likes writing songs? Matter of fact, digression. Let me show y'all what I got going on this thing. It's gonna be a little tune bowling. Beautiful. All right. If anyone can name that song, they get 10 free copies of my books, guaranteed. Uh, as long as it's self-funded. But yeah, so that's been fun. Just had a lot of stuff going on. Haven't really had too much time to write, but with summer coming along, I've had an infinite amount of time on my hands. So I've spent a lot of late nights. It's 2 in the morning right now. I've spent a lot of late nights just sitting here bundled up with my candle lit, my lights nice and dim, a nice blanket on, and just writing my heart out with like a video playing off the side because I have no attention span. I mean, come on, man, I'm 17, no attention span. But it's fine. All right, I got a bunch written. I'm almost done with the book actually because I haven't even gotten to the most exciting part. I'm on page 300, but it's not fully formatted yet. Now, to those who don't really know what that means, if we were to take the Monkey Man here, see how long it is real quick. 37 pages. That's pretty short for a book. That's pretty short, not gonna lie. But if it was in like the standard Google Docs form, this would be probably 20 something pages. Probably 20 something pages. In all honesty, and I messed my hair up, but I can't get it back to how it was. Just whatever. It would be 20 something pages. It'd be shorter because how Google Docs is it's got its own little like thing. I don't know if it's like letter paper, like 8 by 11, like printer paper. But when you take a piece of printer paper and you compress it down into this like 8.5 by 5 by 5 format, it's gonna fit less words on a page, and so it's gonna have to make more pages. So it's gonna be longer. I am 300 pages into Scarescrape, and it is currently on letter paper. And I'm terrified to turn it into this format. I'm terrified to name the chapters. I'm terrified to do anything differently because once I got into that like uh once I got on a roll, I guess. Once I was on a roll, I was like, I can't change anything about what I'm doing because this is working for me, and that's what I've done. And the fact that I'm making this video is probably gonna throw me off, and I'm just gonna never do this ever again. I'm never gonna write ever again, and this will be the last time you'll ever see me. I'll end up dead in a ditch in 3 weeks, and they're not even gonna make a news story about me. They're just gonna have a quiet funeral. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's 2 in the morning. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So Scarescrape's gonna be a long book. It's gonna be unlike Carnation, which I made double spaced to make it 400 pages. Not gonna lie, kind of a cheapskate on that. But I mean, story's good. It's a good story. Carnation. I like it. I reread it occasionally. It's not like anything mind numbing, but it's not bad. This story though I like a lot. I actually really like this story. I think this is the best portrayal of the story I've ever given because I've read the story 1,000 times. I've played the story out in the backyard with my brother 1,005 times, and I've rode around my neighborhood on my bike, pretending that the big monster in this book is chasing me. Its teeth like inches behind me, just snapping away at me, but I'm just pedaling a little bit faster. 1,400 million times I've done that, and countless times. If if I was in my room alone at night and I'm bored, I'll act out a scene of this book. If I'm playing a game and there's no objective and I just am like making my own thing, I'll act out a scene of this book. It's just like all the time. I'll just act out scenes of this book over the course of my life, over the course of the past decade. This book is just like it's. I love it. I love it so much. This is like the most passion project I've ever devoted myself to since Boulders and Mountains. Y'all aren't getting that reference, but like I just can't even put it into words. Now I've been talking for almost 20 minutes, and I feel like I just sat down. But it's whatever. It's cool. So yeah, on the surface, this story is about a couple of kids uncovering a conspiracy about facilities, another world through a portal, and monsters that come out of them. But it's so much deeper than that, man. And I want to tell you everything about it. I really do, but I just like I know that every word that comes out about it will be one more word you'll be losing from actually picking up the book and reading it. And I wish that there was something I could say to convey how much deeper it is than just like what I explained. But I mean, there's really not. Like it's I don't want to reveal too much about it at all because so much is still subject to change. So much is still developing. So much is probably going to change when I rewrite this. Because right now I have like a pretty good skeleton of it, but I just know it's the final product is gonna be it's gonna be different because if we go back to when I was 7 till now, the amount of like things that have just changed since then. I want to circle back to around to me acting out scenes. I used to do that at the intermediate school I went to during recess, and I do it with my best friend. And he just went along with it because he was such a great friend, and that was a lot of fun. We pretend big monster was coming to chase us. Oh my gosh, it was just great, man. Just great times, and we'd acted out and things that I decided even back then have carried on. to now. Like the names of the monsters. Well, for two of the monsters, I came up with when I was really young. Um, the main characters, I came up with them when I was really young. They're all of the main characters, or the core six main characters. There's a few more main characters than that actually. It's kind of a big cast now that I think about it. But core six, we had plushies for four of them that filled their role, and then it was me and my brother. So, or it was me and my friend. It depended on who I was with playing at the time. My brother and my friend, they played the role. No one cares. Cast reveal. They played the role of Jackson Helm. All right. I'm not gonna go into more detail than that. They were Jackson. I was Dennis. Dennis is the main character of this book. All right, and he's a character that I have pictured since I was 7. He's a character that I've grown up with, basically a character that has constantly gone through different stages, different designs, different outfits that I've dressed up as, that I've acted as, that I've just created a whole I orbit around him. If I'm being honest, like he's just like the picturesque of who I wanted to be back then, and it's just like everything about it is just like a mosaic of all the things that I've loved. Like all the names come from somewhere or mean something to me. All the places, all the everything about it. It's all just so special to my heart more than any of my other books were. And I'm digressing. The other characters, we had a polar bear named Belinda. Uh, we had a SpongeBob SquarePants. We called him Bill. Ninja Turtle. That's Mike. Um, and then we had a dog from Toys R Us. That's Oscar. And that was it. That was all of them. So it was me, my brother, and my friend, Belinda, Bill, Mike, Oscar. And those characters have gone through so many changes. There were characters that were together that are now not. There are characters that hated each other that now love each other. There are characters who just the dynamics have switched drastically, but the the foundation of who they are has remained, and that's what I think is the best. Because originally Jackson was the main character. That has changed quite a bit. He is not the main character anymore. Dennis is the main character, but Mike is the protagonist. If that makes sense, I don't know how else to explain that. That's as good as I can explain. Dennis is the main character. Mike is the protagonist. That's what makes sense to me. That's how I'm going to explain it. Those are the core six right there, and there's so many more characters. There's so much more depth to it. There's so much inspiration in this. It comes from so many different parts of my life that just come together to make this ball of who I am. And it's just to me, it's the perfect story that could come from me. It feels like my story. Like if I were to publish a book, if I needed to have one book that was like this is mine and give it to the world, this is the book for sure, for sure. And I'm 300 pages into it. Of course, not the final draft. I'm not going to publish this book anytime soon. Probably. I'm gonna let this marinate for a while, and I'm not. If I ever do publish it, I'm gonna be older. I'm maybe 30s, honestly, because this needs to be perfect when I publish it. I can't have it be mediocre. It needs to be perfect. And yeah, I'm super excited for Scare Script. It feels like my magnum opus, in all honesty, and that's what I spent 24 minutes trying to explain. Is that this book? It feels like my magnum opus. Now let's get into the thing that's, if anyone would care, this is what they care about. Are Do I have any books coming soon? And the answer to that, honestly, is no. That's my honest answer. No, I don't have any books coming soon. I keep starting books and I just never finish them. Because, like, I'll write out the whole plot and then it just feels tedious to actually write them. I write so much better, in my opinion, when I just start writing and let it fall out that way. Now, if I were to finish a book anytime soon, I would go back to Still We Fall. I wrapped that up, but I noticed that I started writing books for the sake of writing books and not because I actually wanted to. The reason why I even started writing books was because I had something I wanted to say, and that was my way to say it without actually just saying it. And the same thing with my guitar and writing songs. It just feels like such an easy way to get stuff off my chest, and I love that about writing. It's the most beautiful thing ever. Writing. I just find it so interesting and so beautiful how we were put on this planet and we've survived, and at some point, it was just like such a struggle for everyone, and we've like developed so far, and we've gotten to the point where we're just in such a state of sentience where we have the ability to just question everything around us, to search for meaning in all of this, to find an explanation for everything that we ever were and ever will be. And that is so beautiful to me. Because, just like anybody else, I want to know so badly. I want to know everything. And I want to know what's out there. And I want to know what was, what will be, what all of this is for, if it is for anything. And I think I found my answer. I'm not gonna get too like sentimental on you or too pushy, but this right here has been one of the most life-changing things for me. And if you don't know what this collection of wood between two blocks of leather is, this is the Holy Bible right here, and this thing, it's I can't even put it into words what it is to me. It wasn't always that way, but in recent times, it's become everything. And it more than ever has made me want to learn. I love, love learning. And I don't care if that sounds nerdy or stupid. There's just so much out there for us to know. And I want to know as much of it as I can. But as much as I consume, I want to create. Because what's out there is as important as what's in here. And that's not just for me. That goes for everybody. Because everybody has a consciousness and a soul that just takes in everything around them and accepts it. And or rejects it. That's even cooler than the fact that some people just reject it all and just find their own spin on things. And it's just so amazing how we have like the free will to do that, and how we have the brains to just question things, to try to understand things, to want to understand things. The fact that I can do this, I can just talk about this and just communicate this is amazing. And I've been talking for almost 30 minutes, man. That's wow. And I all I came here to say was that I've written a lot of the first draft of, or not the first draft, but a draft of a book that I like, and that's really cool. That's really cool. I want to write books when I want to actually say something, to get a message across, and finding a really fun way to do that. And recently, I've lost, or not recently, but back then, I lost sight of what mattered, of what it meant to me. I thought if I wasn't writing and publishing books, I wasn't doing good. I wasn't living up to my name. But that's not true at all. That's not true at all. Yeah. I posted some garbage in my life, or published, I guess I mean to say. Like, I'm reading back in these old books, and I mean, you can just tell I was 14. You can tell I was a little kid. A passionate one, but you could tell I was a little kid. And part of me wants to just go back and rewrite it all, and then hate it in a few years and rewrite it again, and just do that endlessly. And part of me just doesn't want to touch it at all and just leave it preserved. And I don't know what to do with that feeling, so I ignore it and I move forward. Because what matters to me now is writing books that mean something. Still We Fall means something. Scarescrape means something. The Land Untouched by Time means something. These books mean something to me, and I want them to accurately convey that. That's what I want, really. I'm not going to ramble on any longer. I've given my life story pretty much. I've gotten deep enough for this. This was supposed to be a quick thing. I've got food in the oven that needs to be taken out. And that's where I'm going to wrap it up. I don't know when y'all will see me again. I don't know when I'll have more news. I'll be posting notes probably in my little community thing. Um, but that's where we're at right now. So I don't know the next time I upload. I don't know when I'll next publish a book. But this is just to fill y'all in. So if anyone's watching, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. See you next time.